Tokyo Jungle is a visceral and gruesome romp through the ruined streets of Tokyo, Japan. You take control of a plethora of animals, including dogs, cats, and, dinosaurs. Apparently the only thing keeping the lizard beasts extinct was the existence of humans. But questioning the realistic accuracy of a game like this is kind of missing the point. Let's start with the official game description, shall we? Everything is the enemy and only the strongest will survive. With over 50 playable animals to choose from, unleash your inner beast to hunt your way to the top of Tokyo's post-apocalyptic food chain. Whether in story or survival mode, you never know where your next meal will come from or the dangers you'll face, so be prepared for anything and everything. Tokyo Jungle is different, but in a very good way. The industry is inundated with military shooters, over-the-top violent hack-and-slash games, and a myriad of other cliché genres and subgenres. So when something new comes along, it definitely deserves to be at least noticed by gamers, and Tokyo Jungle is one such instance. The meat of your time will be spent running around this dystopian cityscape in attempts to propagate your species while ensuring you have the food and other necessities required to survive. You'll face animals both bigger and smaller than you, so it's a good idea to keep an eye open for hungry predators in the area that might not appreciate you taking a gingerly stroll through their territory. Getting blindsided by a vengeful crocodile can definitely lead to a few jump scares followed by an utterance of the "damn nature you scary." There are two basic types of animals in Tokyo Jungle: predators and grazers. Both require calories to upgrade their mating rank, but how they acquire these calories is quite different. As you might expect, predators find their sustenance from killing and eating other animals, while grazers eat various foliage. The predators tend to be better in combat while facing down a foe, while grazers tend to move faster while also having a double jump to help them avoid trouble. Now, all sides being measured, it tends to be much more fun to play a predator than it is a grazer. Other than just the general kill or be killed, you'll have to mark territory, breed, collect apparel to boost your stats, collect one-time use items, and accomplish specific goals. Now, if you accomplish a special goal for each animal, you'll unlock a new animal in survival mode. While we're on the topic of modes, there are two main modes available in the game. Survival mode, where you simply try to survive as long as possible, and story mode that largely feels like a slower, less interesting version of survival mode with a narrative shoehorned in. If you're really desperate to see a slightly more detailed explanation of what happened to the human race, story mode might be worth your time. Tokyo Jungle can be a lot of fun with its unique premise and quirky personality, but that's not to say it's without its warts. Just like looking at your high school prom date, some of these warts can be fairly hard to look past to see the beauty underneath. First and foremost, the camera is not adjustable at all. It's a fixed side view camera that often leads to the player running into dangerous foes simply because they were not visible until very near them. One of the more satisfying aspects of the game is running around with a pack and having that family of bloodthirsty carnivores attack things for you. The problem is the attack button, triangle, must be held down for the pack to engage a target. This wouldn't be that big of a deal, but the current animal you are controlling attacks using the square button. Try holding a PS3 controller. Now try holding down the triangle button while pushing the square button. While it's not impossible by any means, it certainly doesn't feel natural. While Tokyo Jungle offers a myriad of animals, there really doesn't feel like a big difference from one predator to another. The same thing goes with grazers. They all control very similar and offer very little in the way of variety. If you played the Mastiff, you played the Wolf. If you played the Gazelle, you played the Axis Deer, and so on and so forth. Now with those and a bunch of minor other annoyances aside, perhaps the most frustrating is the level design of the world itself. While it does take place in a compact city, the world could have benefited from having a much more open level design. Instead, areas consist mainly of tight corridors and circuitous routes, which can often lead to frustration when simply trying to get from point A to point B. With the world being set up in such a linear fashion as well, travel through the world of Tokyo Jungle is definitely not its strong point. Often when checking the list of current goals, you'll find your destination all the way on the other side of the city. Such a trek takes up an absorbent amount of time. While there is a sewer system that helps this a little, it's the equivalent of slapping a band-aid on a gushing open wound. Tokyo Jungle is a solid experience that's worth being had, but it has quite a few blemishes that hold it back from being a great game. Most players will enjoy the game for a few hours, but without a rock-solid design behind it, they'll find themselves quickly becoming bored. The game really feels like it was thrown together in a short period of time, and we're hoping that a sequel can expand on the idea and fix the problems of the original. For every step Tokyo Jungle takes forward, it also takes one back. That being said, the game earns a few extra points for its originality. On a 10-point scale, with 5 being the average, Tokyo Jungle gets a 6 out of 10.